All right, so ready to dive deep today. We're tackling procrastination using Darius Foroux's book, Do It Today. Think we can pull out some practical strategies to get stuff done.
Let's do it. Foroux doesn't mess around with just surface-level tips. He digs into why we procrastinate and builds a system to fight back.
He starts with a story about his first job, 16 years old, working inside sales. Not exactly thrilled about those sales calls, even found ways to, well, game the system a bit. Sounds relatable.
Totally. And that's his big point. Procrastination, it's an inner battle. We blame everything else, right? Noisy office, emails piling up. But it's about owning our actions.
Oh, I've been there. Blaming my surroundings instead of looking at myself. Foroux, though, he doesn't make procrastination sound pretty. Compares it to, get this, addiction, with some serious downsides. Seemed a bit much, that comparison. What do you think?
I think it's to show how deep procrastination gets. He ties it to depression, anxiety, even like irrational stuff we believe. It's not just lazy. It's about needing a healthier way to relate to work, don't you think?
Absolutely. So how do we break free, according to Foroux? He's got this productivity system, not about quick fixes, he says, but habits that stick.
Right. And it's not just your to-do list stuff. 4 parts, all linked: mental toughness, fitness, daily habits, and then the task management.
Okay, break it down. Mental toughness first. How's that tied to productivity? I'm curious.
He's into stoicism, pragmatism, mindfulness, all to control your thoughts, build resilience. He actually thinks reading philosophy is key for this. Surprised?
Honestly, yeah. Not the usual productivity advice. So training our minds like we train our bodies.
You got it. Which brings us to fitness, the next part. Daily exercise, boosting energy and focus. He even shares his own goals, more about being strong than looking good.
Seeing how it all connects, like you can't separate physical and mental well-being from working well. So what habits does he want us to build?
Journaling's big for him. Reading, too, setting priorities.
Yeah.
And this, avoiding useless info, being mindful of how we spend time, right?
Right. Then there's the task part. Any specific system he likes.
Keep a list, he says, of smaller tasks, but important ones, to tackle when those big projects make you want to procrastinate. Oh, and this is different. Study persuasion, the science of it.
Persuasion. For productivity, how does that work?
He thinks communicating well is crucial, whatever you do, to get people on board, collaborate better, reach your goals, all that.
Okay, so that's the system, the foundation. But he's got tactics too, right? To fight procrastination in the moment. What are the highlights?
Intriguing one is self-imposed deadlines. Research shows we work better when there's urgency, even if we set the deadline ourselves. Notice that yourself.
Totally. Nothing gets me moving like a deadline looming, even if I made it up. What about accountability? Mention that.
He does. Find a partner, he says, or even hire a coach to keep you on track. Then there's that classic, working in intervals, like the Pomodoro technique, helps focus, prevents burnout.
Solid advice. Foroux also talks about those sneaky time wasters. Gotta eliminate them. How do we tackle that, according to him?
It's all about the time log. Basically, write down how you spend your time. Detailed. The idea is you see those hidden time wasters. Mindless scrolling, checking email every minute, so then you can cut them out.
Self-awareness, huh? See the patterns, break free.
You got it. But here's the thing. Even with all the best strategies, Foroux says the biggest reason we procrastinate, we're not doing work that truly means something to us. He keeps asking, why do you do what you do? Find work that fits your values, your passions.
That old saying, do what you love, applied to procrastination.
Exactly. And I think he's on to something big there. When you're passionate, the motivation to beat procrastination, it kind of comes naturally.
So listener, how can you apply this right now? One small step towards work that's more, you.
Take a few minutes. Think about your work, your projects. Ask yourself, what parts really energize me? What do I naturally gravitate towards? That's a starting point to find what really fulfills you.
Love that. Gotta ask about something, probably a procrastination trigger for a lot of us. Smartphones. Foroux has this stat, kind of scary. 37.4% of people in a study valued their phone as much as, or more than, close friends. Equally.
Alarming, isn't it? Shows how attached we've become to these things. And he ties it right to productivity. Cites a study, test scores went up 26% just by removing phones from the room.
26%? That's wild. Makes you think, how much brain power are we wasting being glued to our phones? Does he say go cold turkey, totally off the grid?
He's actually pretty sensible about it. Share his own things, like turning off all notifications except calls, texts, leaving most WhatsApp groups, and being picky about what he looks at on his phone, so no mindless scrolling.
So being more intentional with tech, choosing when we engage, Not letting it run the show. Easier said than done, though, right?
Totally. Takes effort, discipline, but he says attention is a limited resource. Got to protect it if you want to get stuff done.
What other tactics does he have for focus beyond just the smartphone stuff?
This one might surprise you. Embrace boredom.
Boredom. Sounds like the opposite of productive. Why would anyone want to be bored on purpose?
Foroux says boredom can actually spark creativity. We're so stimulated all the time, our minds don't have space to wander, make those connections that lead to new ideas.
It's like giving your brain a break to recharge so it can make those leaps.
You got it. And he talks about positive memory recall too. Turns out, remembering good stuff increases serotonin in your brain, boosts mood, focus, even helps you delay gratification.
I like that. A mental trick to tap into good vibes and use that for getting things done.
Exactly. And super simple. Just take a minute, think about happy memories. It can really shift your mindset.
Speaking of counterintuitive, Forough argues for something we probably feel guilty about. Breaks and vacations.
I know, right? You'd think a productivity guy would be all about squeezing every minute out of the day. But he mentions research, vacations reduce stress, burnout, and you actually come back wanting to be more productive.
Makes sense. When you're rested, refreshed, you're more motivated. Does he have advice on how to use vacation time well?
He says, use some of that time to think about work, find areas to improve, be more efficient, but also focus on experiences, make memories, not just vegging out on the couch.
So being mindful, even with leisure time.
Totally. He even suggests reading, learning new stuff, exploring ideas, things that make you more productive in the long run.
Okay, starting to rethink my view of vacations now. Forough also dives into something a lot of us can relate to, I think, perfectionism. And he says it's procrastination in disguise.
Exactly. Perfectionists get stuck, waiting for the perfect moment to start, questioning their work, terrified of messing up. That fear leads to inaction, stopping them from reaching goals.
Frozen by the pressure to be flawless, huh?
Totally. And Foroux says that striving for perfection, it's damaging. Anxiety, depression, feeling not good enough.
So what's the answer? Just embrace being mediocre?
Not at all. He still believes in aiming high, but finding balance. Between that and accepting mistakes as part of the process, he talks about learned resourcefulness. Basically, being able to handle your emotions, solve problems, delay gratification to reach meaningful goals.
So be resilient, resourceful. Don't let perfectionism be a roadblock.
That's it. He even has this mantra, I've got this, believing you can handle challenges without all that self-doubt.
Love it. Simple, but powerful. Reminds you to trust yourself. Forough also has thoughts about the internet, how it affects our focus.
He says being constantly connected, it kills productivity. We're so used to being bombarded with info, our ability to concentrate for a long time has taken a hit.
Attention spans, all fragmented by the notifications, updates, everything.
Exactly. And he suggests what he calls an always disconnected approach.
What's that look like?
It's about choosing when you use tech. He says he turns off Wi-Fi, mobile data on his phone, unless he specifically needs them. Uses apps to block distracting websites during work.
Setting boundaries, huh? Protecting your time, attention from the digital demands.
Precisely. And he talks about cutting out mindless browsing. You know, those times you fall down the internet rabbit hole, hours gone.
Oh, we've all been there. That vortex of scrolling.
For sure. And Forough says it not only wastes time, it drains your energy, makes you more distractible all day. Be mindful of your online time. Focus on content that's valuable, enriching.
Be intentional, present, both on and offline.
Exactly. He even suggests being disconnected can bring calmness, clarity, helps you appreciate simple stuff you might otherwise miss.
It's about taking back your attention, almost taking back your life in a way.
Well said. Forough also brings up this simple but really valuable exercise. From Peter Drucker's book, The Effective Executive.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the exercise all about?
Keep a time log, detailed, for a few weeks. Then analyze how you actually spent your time. See what tasks are crucial, what's just wasting time.
Like a self-audit, huh? See your habits, find inefficiencies.
Exactly. He says once you spot those time wasters, eliminate them ruthlessly. One simple step, he says, can boost your effectiveness like crazy, frees up time for the things that truly matter.
Simplifying, focusing on the essentials. Now, Forough also talks about breaks, and not just those quick coffee breaks.
He's big on regular breaks during the day. Research shows it actually helps focus productivity.
I've noticed that. Sometimes just 5 minutes away from my desk, I can clear my head, come back with renewed energy.
Like hitting the refresh button. Forough suggests the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes working, 5-minute break, no email, distractions during those breaks, though.
Give your brain a real rest.
Exactly. And he makes a strong case for longer breaks, too, like vacations. Says they're crucial to reduce stress, burnout, let your mind make those creative connections you don't get when you're always working.
So permission to disconnect, recharge completely, no guilt.
Precisely. And he says, in the end, vacations can make you more productive. You come back feeling refreshed, energized.
It's an investment in your well-being, so you can be your best self, both personally and professionally. Forough also has some interesting things to say about the power of belief.
Ah, yes. He believes that what you believe deeply affects whether you reach your goals. He even goes as far as saying belief will help create the fact.
It's about having faith in yourself, your ability to make things happen.
Exactly. He mentions the philosopher William James, who thought our beliefs shape our reality. Forough encourages a practical approach. Base your beliefs on facts, evidence.
Align your beliefs with reality. Use them to fuel your goals.
That's it. And believe in yourself, your ability to live the life you want, even when you have doubts.
It's about overcoming those limiting beliefs that hold us back.
Exactly. He tells a personal story about how he beat his own fears and limiting beliefs to build the life he wanted. Encourages readers to do the same.
Inspiring. Now, what about his thoughts on finding work that matches your values and passions?
He thinks it's a major reason people procrastinate. They just aren't doing work that feels meaningful. Find work that excites you, challenges you, lets you make a positive impact.
It's about finding your purpose, right? Discover what truly motivates you and go after it passionately.
Absolutely. And if you can't find the perfect career path, he says create one.
Create one? How's that even possible?
He gives an example. A woman who created the position of chief happiness officer at a company, a non-tech company. She saw a need, believed in it, and made it happen, even though it was unconventional.
Wow, that's incredible. Be a trailblazer, forge your own path. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity.
Exactly. And believe in abundance. There are always opportunities. If you look for them, create them.
Have faith in yourself and the world around you. You know, I've been guilty of working late, bringing work home. I was really interested in what Forough says about leaving work at work, not letting it bleed into your personal life.
He's all about boundaries. Working late, always being connected leads to burnout, stress, lower quality of life.
Prioritize your well-being, right? You can't be truly productive and happy if you're always sacrificing your personal time for work.
Exactly. Leave work on time, even if it feels weird at first. Separate work from home life, clearly.
Set those boundaries, protect your time and energy. What are your thoughts on this personally?
Totally agree. You need time for relaxing, hobbies, being with people you care about. Helps you recharge, come back to work more focused, energized.
Forough also talks about the power of consistency. We all struggle with that sometimes.
He's all about those small, consistent efforts over time. Tiny improvements, day after day, they lead to big results. Like compound interest, small amounts invested regularly grow into a lot.
Slow and steady wins the race.
But for all parts of life. Exactly. Focus on what you can control. Let go of what you can't. Like the Stoics, concentrate on your own actions. Mindset, not worrying about external things you can't change.
Take responsibility for your own growth. Trust that consistent effort pays off.
That's it. Strive for consistency, even when it's hard. It's the key to lasting results anywhere in life.
Showing up every day, doing the work, even when you're not feeling it.
That's the heart of it. And he highlights repetition, too. Might sound boring, but he says it's how you master skills, build mental toughness.
Repetition. Seems a bit tedious. What's his argument for that?
Think of athletes. They spend hours practicing the basics of their sport over and over.
Right.
It's about honing your craft, perfecting the foundation for excellence.
So it's not just doing tasks mindlessly. It's repetition with a purpose, with the goal of getting better.
Exactly. And he says repetition builds mental toughness, resilience. Embrace lifelong learning. Always look for ways to improve your skills, knowledge.
Have a growth mindset. Believe you can always learn and grow no matter what stage you're at.
That's the key. And find mentors, role models who can guide you.
Surround yourself with inspiring people who challenge you to be your best. I'm curious about how Forough measures his own life, given his focus on productivity, achievement, and all that.
Interestingly, he says there's no one-size-fits-all way to measure a good life. You define your own measures based on what truly matters to you.
Success on your own terms, huh? What fulfills you? Then live a life that reflects that.
Exactly. He shares his three: energy, work, relationships. With energy, it's about feeling physically and mentally energized. Boost those levels with good habits, like exercise, diet, sleep.
Taking care of yourself to fuel your goals and passions.
Right. With work, he's not looking at income or status, but how much he's learning, growing. He believes the more you learn, the more you can contribute, and the more fulfilling your work becomes.
A growth mindset in your career. Always looking for challenges, ways to expand your skills, your knowledge.
Precisely. And with relationships, it's quality over quantity. Strong, meaningful relationships with people who support you.
Nurture those deep connections with the people who matter most.
That's it. Invest in your relationships with family, friends, loved ones.
Prioritize the people who bring joy and meaning to your life. Now, Foroux throws out this interesting idea. Live like you're immortal.
I know, sounds counterintuitive. But he's not saying be reckless. It's about a long-term view, building a fulfilling life, even if it takes time. He says we get caught up in instant gratification, forgetting to invest in ourselves, our future.
Play the long game. Make choices that benefit you not just now, but for years to come.
Exactly. He asks this question, how do you live? Like a mortal or immortal person. Makes you think, are we really making the most of our time? Living authentically.
Be intentional with how you spend your time. Make choices that align with your long-term goals.
Right. And he also gets into compounding, not just with money, but personal, professional growth too.
Compounding beyond finances. Tell me more. I'm interested.
He says compounding works everywhere in life. Small, consistent efforts lead to big results over time. Focus on one thing at a time. Be patient. Trust the process. Your efforts will pay off.
Believe in the power of small, incremental progress.
Exactly. And remember, success happens sequentially, not all at once. Achieve one goal, then another. Build on that. Slowly create the life you want.
Embrace the journey. Trust the process.
That's it. And he gives practical advice on using compounding in your life. Set clear goals, plan, take consistent action.
It takes intention, discipline, and persistence.
Absolutely. And have a long-term perspective. Know that your efforts will compound over time, leading to amazing results. He reminds us, anything is possible with consistent effort.
An inspiring message, the power of belief, consistency, long-term thinking. You know, listening to all this about Foroux's book, there's a theme of being aware of what unproductive people do. What are some of the pitfalls he highlights?
Working too much, worrying too much, constantly on social media, email, not writing things down, being overly critical of yourself.
It's not just the obvious time wasters. It's about recognizing those subtle habits that drain your energy and keep you from being productive.
Exactly. And these little habits, when you repeat them over and over, they really impact your productivity and how you feel.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Perfect way to put it. And Foroux says to build more productive habits instead.
What are some of the positive habits he recommends?
The strong morning routine. Focus on one task at a time. Get rid of distractions. Take regular breaks. Exercise regularly. Laugh often. Always be willing to learn.
Create a lifestyle that supports productivity and well-being.
You got it. And find what works for you. Build a sustainable system that fits your life.
Personalize it. Find the strategies and habits that resonate with you and make them part of your daily routine.
Absolutely. He also talks about having a personal mantra, something to help you stay focused, motivated.
I like that, a mantra. What's his go-to phrase?
Just let's go. Simple, right? He uses it to get himself in action mode.
Yeah.
Especially when he's feeling hesitant or overwhelmed.
Simple but effective. Reminds you to take that first step, even when it's tough.
Exactly. Find a mantra that speaks to you, connects with your values, goals, what you want to achieve.
Like a little mental nudge to overcome inertia and start taking action. Foroux also talks about time blocking, something I'm a big fan of. It helps me stay organized, focused. What's his take on it?
Big fan of scheduling everything. Work stuff, appointments, even downtime. He says time blocking can be huge for focus, cuts down on distractions, and makes sure you're moving forward on the important things.
Take control of your time. Don't let it control you.
Right. And prioritize the tasks that really matter, even if it means saying no to other things.
Align your schedule with your priorities. Be intentional with your time. I've definitely been there, letting my calendar become a mess, and it definitely hurts my productivity.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But Foroux also says be flexible with your time blocking. Life happens, you got to adjust.
It's a tool to guide you, not something to be a slave to.
Exactly. We talk about boundaries between work and personal life, but Foroux goes deeper. Really disconnect from work. Don't check emails all the time after hours. Work on projects late at night.
Create that separation, a mental space to detach from work and recharge.
Exactly. Set a firm stop time for work each day and stick to it. Maybe silence notifications, turn off the work phone, or even physically leave your workspace.
Establish those boundaries, protect your personal time. Come back to work feeling refreshed and focused.
And he says that separation isn't just good for you, it can actually make you more productive in the long run.
Rest and rejuvenation, essential parts of a productive life, not just extras.
Absolutely. Foro also has some interesting thoughts on vacations. Not just taking them, but how they can boost your productivity.
I'm listening. How can stepping away from work actually make us more productive?
Vacations give you a mental and physical break to disconnect, recharge, come back with fresh eyes. Studies even show vacations can lower stress, boost creativity, make you more motivated when you return to work.
Like hitting the reset button. You come back feeling energized, focused, ready to tackle things.
Exactly. Really embrace your vacation. Disconnect from work, do things you enjoy, relax.
Don't see vacations as a luxury or indulgence. See them as an investment in your well-being, which ultimately improves your productivity.
You got it. Use that time for hobbies, exploring new places, spending time with people you love, or even doing absolutely nothing. Whatever helps you unwind, recharge.
Give yourself permission to truly disconnect. Put your well-being first. Now, this one was a bit of a head-scratcher for me at first. Foroux's suggestion to embrace boredom.
Seems counterintuitive, right? He says, in our world, we're always connected, always stimulated. We've lost the ability to be bored. Our minds don't have time to wander, make those creative connections that lead to new ideas.
It's about giving your brain a rest from all the information overload, letting it explore new possibilities.
Exactly. Boredom can actually spark creativity, help you solve problems, even lead to self-discovery. Make time for boredom, meditation, time in nature, anything that lets your mind wander.
Rediscover the lost art of just being. Disconnect from the digital world. Tune into your own thoughts and feelings.
And be patient with boredom. It might feel weird at first, but stick with it. Your mind will relax, become more receptive.
Train your mind to be comfortable with stillness, silence. Not easy in our world.
Absolutely. Embracing boredom, it's key to creativity, reducing stress, living a more fulfilled life.
So from this deep dive into Do It Today, it seems Foroux is all about a holistic approach to productivity. It's not just about managing your time, it's about having the right mindset, lifestyle, habits to be effective, A&D feel good.
You got it. He wants us to take responsibility for our procrastination, create a system that works for us, protect our attention from all the distractions, and find work that fits our values, passions.
And the most inspiring thing, we can make these changes. It's not about the perfect app or some magic solution. It's about being intentional, consistent, committed to creating the life we want.
Absolutely. It's not about some huge overnight change, just starting small, being consistent, watching those small wins grow into something amazing.
Love it. We have the power to shape our own lives, one step at a time.
And speaking of small steps, Foro talks about having a personal mantra. Keeps you motivated, on track.
A mantra. Interesting. What's his go-to phrase?
Simple. Let's go. Uses it to get in that action mindset, especially when he's feeling stuck or overwhelmed.
I like that. So simple, but powerful. Just take that first step, get things moving, even when you don't feel like it.
You got it. And find one that works for you. Connects with your values, goals, what you're aiming for.
A little mental boost to get over that initial hump and start doing for revision. Foroux also gets into time blocking, something I'm a fan of myself. Helps me stay organized, focused. What's his take?
He's all about scheduling everything, work tasks, appointments, even downtime. Says time blocking can really change the game when it comes to focus. Less distractions, and you make sure you're making progress on the important stuff.
Take control of your day, your calendar, instead of the other way around.
Exactly. And prioritize the tasks that line up with your goals, what you value, even if it means saying no to other things.
Makes sense. Align your schedule with what's important to you. Be intentional with how you spend your time. I know I've been guilty of letting my calendar get out of control, and it definitely hurts my productivity.
We've all been there. But Foroux also says, be flexible with it. Things come up, got to adjust.
So it's not about being a slave to the schedule, it's a tool to help you reach your goals.
Exactly. We talked about boundaries between work and life. But Foroux takes it a step further. Really disconnect. Don't be checking emails all the time after hours, working on projects late into the night.
Create that separation, a mental break where you can fully detach and recharge.
You got it. He suggests having a hard stop time for work each day. Stick to it. Silence those notifications. Turn off the work phone. Maybe even physically leave your workspace.
Set those boundaries, protect your personal time so you can come back to work feeling refreshed, focused.
And he argues that separation isn't just good for you, it can actually make you more productive over time.
Rest and rejuvenation are essential parts of a productive life. not just optional extras.
Absolutely. Forough also has some interesting insights on vacations, and not just taking them, but how they can actually make you more productive.
I'm intrigued. How can taking time off from work actually make you more productive?
Vacations give you that much-needed break, mentally and physically, to disconnect, recharge, and come back with a fresh perspective. Studies show vacations can even reduce stress, boost creativity, and make you more motivated to be productive when you get back to work.
Like hitting the reset button. Come back feeling more energized, focused, ready to face those challenges.
Exactly. And really embrace that vacation time. Disconnect from work, do things you enjoy, truly relax.
Shift your mindset. Don't think of vacations as a luxury, but as a crucial investment in your well-being, which ultimately leads to better productivity.
You got it. Use that time for hobbies, exploring, spending time with loved ones, or even just doing nothing. Whatever helps you unwind and recharge.
Give yourself permission to truly disconnect and prioritize the things that nourish your mind, body, and soul.
Now, this one might seem a little strange at first. Forough actually argues for embracing boredom.
Embracing boredom. That seems like the opposite of what you expect from someone focused on productivity. Why would he say that?
He says, in our world today, we're always connected, always stimulated. We've forgotten about the power of boredom. We're constantly bombarded with information, with no space for our minds to wander and make those creative connections that lead to new ideas.
So give your brain a break from all that input. Let it rest, explore new possibilities.
Exactly. And boredom can surprisingly lead to creativity, problem solving, even self-discovery. Make time for boredom meditation, time in nature, anything that lets your mind wander freely.
Rediscover the simple act of just being. Disconnect from the digital world, tune in to your own thoughts and feelings.
And be patient with boredom. It can feel weird at first, but stick with it. Your mind will eventually relax, become more open.
Train your mind to be comfortable with stillness, with silence. Not easy in our noisy, fast-paced world.
You said it, embracing boredom is key to being more creative, less stressed, and living a more fulfilling life.
So wrapping up our deep dive into Darius Forough's Do It Today, it's all about taking charge of your productivity, your well-being.
You nailed it. We have more control than we think. Even small changes, when you're consistent, can lead to big positive changes in your life.
His final question really sums it up. What's one small step you can take today to make your life more productive, more fulfilling?
Think about that. What's your one thing? That small action you can take right now to start building the life you want.
It's a powerful question. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
My pleasure. And remember, even the smallest step, if you keep taking it, can lead to amazing results. Until next time, keep exploring.